George Floyd's death has led to calls for change from within the law enforcement profession itself. Tonight, WCNC Charlotte's Brandon Goldner takes a look at some of the solutions being proposed by political and law enforcement leaders to build greater trust with the community.
In addition to legislation being debated right now at the General Assembly, the North Carolina Sheriff's Association came out with a 32-page report outlining recommendations for changes to the law enforcement profession. These changes would stretch from the start of a deputy or an officer's career to his or her retirement. The North Carolina Sheriff's Association's Eddie Caldwell says George Floyd's death shows not everyone is qualified to be in law enforcement.
We needed to look at what we were doing in this state to identify those things that we're doing exceptionally well, identify those things that we could improve on.
One area they flagged: gypsy policing, when an officer resigns from an agency after being accused of misconduct and heads down the road to work for a smaller agency, which would have no clue about that officer's prior misconduct.
That's a problem and has been for a long time.
The association has now launched an online tool allowing people to check on a deputy's certification. As the General Assembly meets in Raleigh, the Sheriff's Association is also trying to get legislation passed which would require law enforcement officers to intervene and report if one of their colleagues uses excessive force. Separately, 3 state senators are sponsoring a bill which would require law enforcement agencies to publicly release body camera video 48 hours after an incident, unless a Superior Court judge restricts its release. And another proposed Senate bill would require state and local governments to make public the reason why an employee, including a police officer, was suspended, fired, or demoted. And you can view the full report on the WCNC mobile app. In Gastonia, Brandon Goldner, WCNC Charlotte.